What's that for us? Found Justin. Cecil said he had been armed murdered by insurgents. He's not saying anything, Jay. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to come back on real quick and let you know everything is okay. My wife she went up to take a shower and she got out of breath and she ain't doing good. So y'all really keep her in prayer and she's y'all just keep her in prayer. I don't want to sit here and say that she ain't doing good because she ain't doing good. She's not feeling good. And so y'all just keep her in prayer. I want to pull this up real quick. See, I can't see who's on and who's not on. I have no idea. Usually my wife pays attention and watches and
our medical miracle is here to thank us. Come on. Oh, I'm keeping my distance. I'm afraid of that erection.
Real quick. Let me represent UWFM Church. See, represent. So yes, y'all keep my wife in prayer. She wasn't doing good. So I had to get off real quick and go assist her. She is presently sitting on the couch. Y'all just keep her in prayer. Please keep her in prayer. It's affecting me. This COVID-19 has not really had a major effect on me, but it's really affecting her. So y'all just lift her up in prayer, please. So we're going to continue on. Let me continue on with this study, if you don't care to. But if you remember, we were in verse 2 talking about the setting his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land. Leviticus 25:23 talks about the land shall not be sold separately, for the land is mine, for you are strangers and sojourners with me. This is what God was telling Moses. Also in Psalms, there it is. Psalms 8:6-8 says, you have made him to have dominion over the works of your hands. I just spoke on this just the other day. You have put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, even the beast of the field, the birds of the air, the fish of the sea that pass through the paths of the sea. So this talks about land and sea, and this is actually talks about when God was placing all of this into Adam's, into where Adam had dominion over that. Also in Joshua 1 verse 3, it says, every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, I will give you, as I said to Moses. So I believe that this, where he sets his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land, is symbolizing that he is placing his feet in this, and he is taking possession of the land that belongs to him. But this is not Jesus. This is an angel that's doing this. But he's representing God, and the reason why, if we go on to verse 3, and cried with a loud voice, this is the angel crying with a loud voice, as when a lion roars. Now I want to just, as when a lion roars, when he cried out, seven thunders uttered their voices. Now let's kind of break this down again. His voice was like a lion. This is the symbol of a king's voice, a voice of authority. The voice caused seven thunders to utter their voices. Well, let's look at some scriptures. Revelation 5:5 says, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So lion is symbolism of Jesus Christ. Exodus 19:19 says, and when the blast of the trumpet sounded long and became louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God answered him by voices. Now, in the New American Standard Bible, it actually says thunder in that. So there's a word there that talks about voice and thunder. Psalms 29:3 says, the voice of the Lord is over the waters. Now, I think it's ironic how water is an automatic amplifier. It amplifies. But if you go on and read the rest of the verse, it says, the God of glory thunders, which is plural. The Lord is over many waters. So I think I'm just putting some scriptures together to go with this to kind of give some insight. And now in Revelation 1:15 talks about, and this is at the very beginning of Revelation, his feet was like fine brass as it refined in the furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So there's multiple voices here. And in that verse, it says 7 thunders uttered their voices. So there are many voices. There's 7 of them. Also in Job 37:5 says, God thunders marvelously with his voice. And I think this is a really something to pay attention to. He does great things which we cannot comprehend. This is something right here that I believe that this about what the mighty angel is doing and what takes place here is something that's great. But we have the inability to comprehend it. We don't understand it. And I also believe it was hidden from us. And I'll explain why in just a minute. So that was the first 3 verses. Now let's look at verse 4, 5, and 6. It says, now in verse 4, now when the 7 thunders uttered their voices, I was about to write, John is about to write something, but I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, another voice comes out of nowhere saying to John, seal up the things which the 7 thunders uttered and do not write them. So whatever these 7 thunders wrote that come from the mighty angel, because you got to go back to the verse what verse was it? And cried with a loud voice as with a lion roars. That's the mighty angel. When he cried out, when the mighty angel cried out, 7 thunders uttered their voices. So the mighty angel cried out, and then 7 thunders uttered their voices. And then that was when John was fixing to write something, and another voice came from heaven, because this angel has already came from heaven, and he's now here on earth, set his foot in the 1 foot in the sea, 1 foot in the on the land, lifted his hand. He has the book, and then he opens his mouth and cries out, and then the 7 thunders begin to release a voice. Then that's when John goes to write it down, and another voice from heaven says to John, seal up the things which 7 thunders uttered and do not write them. The angel whom I saw standing on the sea, this is verse 5, and on the land raised up his hands to heaven. So now he has his hand up, it actually just says hand to heaven. And swore, now listen to this. This is right the reason why that I say that the mighty angel is not Jesus, because then in verse 6 it says he swore by him who lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are in it, the earth and the things that are in it, and the sea and the things that are in it, and there shall be delay no longer. So this angel is now swearing to him who lives forever. Well, we know who that is in verse 6. Whoever he is swearing to, that's Jesus Christ that he swore to. So I know that the angel is not Jesus, because Jesus would not be swearing to his own self like that. The angel is actual angel. We don't know who, whether it was Michael or Gabriel. The angel is actually unnamed. He is a mighty angel, but he represents heaven. He represents God. And now in verse 6, he swore to him, which as Jesus. Going on, I've said all that. So this mighty angel just swore by him being Jesus, who lives forever and created everything, that should be no more delay. So he says there's not going to be any more delay whatsoever. Now, in verse 7, it says, but in the days of the sounding of the seventh angel, when he was about to sound the mystery of God, which there's a mystery that's coming, would be finished, as he declared to his servant the prophets. So let's, and that is pretty much it on the mighty angel, but it's not the rest of the chapter. So let's move on to the rest of this chapter, which is the John eating the scroll, which is actually verses 8 through 11. And there's not a whole lot here. It's just reading it, and verse 8, it says, then the voice which I heard from heaven spoke to me. So I believe it's Jesus that's speaking to him, spoke to John again and said, go take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel who stands on the sea and on the earth. So he's telling John to go and get the book. So I went to the angel and said to him, give me the little book. And he said to me, take and eat, and it will make your stomach bitter, but it will be as sweet as honey in your mouth. In verse 10, it says, then I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it. And it was as sweet as honey and in my mouth. Now, you got to understand what's the symbolism of this. You know what? I don't know, because there's nothing to gauge. I can't compare, except for the fact that talks about that men, we don't live by just bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. So I know that what he is eating is actually something. It could be a prophetic word that was not that God was not ready to release at this moment. Maybe it's going to be released at a different time. Maybe it's going to be released at the time that this is supposed to be happening, because you got to understand this is Revelation. So it's a prophetic book. So I believe in my heart that there's going to come a time that this angel is actually going to maybe do this, that everyone will be able to see. And at that moment might be the time that what is in the book will be revealed. I don't know. But when he ate it, my stomach became bitter. And then in verse 11, it says, and he said to me, you must prophesy again about many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. So then that is the end of that chapter. It's not a very long chapter, and there wasn't really a whole lot in there, but I do not believe that the mighty angel was Jesus, because the mighty angel swore to Jesus. Who the angel is, I don't know. And what the book is in the book, I don't know, but it's something that's significant to maybe ownership, maybe authorship, maybe it's giving him authorization. I don't know, but he would not let John write anything on it. And then, in fact, he told John to go eat it. I believe that this is something that John has to eat, and that we're going to find out at a later date what exactly this is. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't give me any more information than what you're seeing here. So anyway, that is that. our next study, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or Thursday, but we'll see because I got to get it all put together. But it's basically the very next chapter. It talks about the measuring of the temple at the very beginning, and then the two witnesses. So come back with me next time, and we will dive into that and dissect that, and see what God decides to bring to the table, and bring forth. So anyway, God bless y'all. Keep us in prayer. Keep our church in prayer. Keep my wife. Please, please, please. I can't ask you enough to lift my wife up in prayer, and just know that she covets all your prayers. God bless y'all, and we will see you later.